The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Let me be your lighthouse so I can show you the way. Let me be your shining light, I'll keep you from drifting away. I'm the one that makes you try when...
Hello, this is Patty Hunter of Patty's Page. Today we're doing in our home studio an interview with two people. The first one is Leland Gamson. Gamson?
Yes, Gamson.
And the other one is Karen Camden Welsh.
Yes, you got it.
That's a nice name. So I have questions for you. So what we're doing here is going over what we did the last time you were on my show, Leland. You had 5 books.
Yes.
And they were released around the time that we interviewed.
That's right.
Now you have another 5 books.
That's correct.
And when are they released? Are they already?
They are out now.
They're out now.
With Rain Garden Publishing.
Where's that?
Oh, that's a small press in Indiana.
Oh, okay. So let's briefly rehash you. That's the first 5 books. No.
Yes. I used to write for the Wesleyan Methodist Church's Sunday school curriculum years ago when they were headquartered in Marion. And then when I retired, I took 3 of the stories they published for children in their magazines and put them into a book form with Sojourn Publishing out of Sedona, Arizona. And so they were for an overt Christian children's audience.
Oh.
And our Locael, the donkey who carried Jesus, the donkeys are animated, and especially the donkey colt that Christ rode through Jerusalem. The story has been done before, but in my version, the donkeys witness both the crucifixion and the resurrected Christ.
And the second book?
And the second one is, gotta check, Where is Grandpa? It's based upon a true story of a niece who's one of her grandfathers has always been dead. So she asked her grandmother, where is he? And she answers, and again, it's from a very overtly Christian perspective.
Third book?
And the third one is Samson at the Olympics. Of course, it's fanciful. It's a kind of a what-if story. What if Samson or ancient Israel had participated in the Greek Olympics? Of course, one has to overlook the fact that there was about a 900-year gap between Samson's being alive and the start of the Greek Olympics.
Yeah.
But it's a cute story with twists and turns. Then there is If Your Dog Were a Human, and it's written from kind of a children's perspective, as most children's stories are, where we speculate, if your dog were a human, what kind of personality and activities would he enjoy? What profession would he go into?
So the illustrations on, how many, Karen, have you done on these first 5
This
books?
is the only one of the first 5 that I
Is it?
illustrated.
Got the dog?
Yeah, if your dog were a human. And then
Oh.
I tried to capture their personality in
So-
each one, because every dog has personality.
So do you do the illustration before or after the book is done? Kind of.
He writes the story, and then he gives me the storylines, and then I work from that in no specific order.
So did you start off doing illustration a long time ago, or?
I
How many
majored
years?
in art,
Yeah.
always have done a lot of animals, not
Yeah.
only animals, but so it was a good fit to do dogs
Cats,
and cats, yes.
my favorite, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
So did you start off in illustration black and coal or crayon, or how did you start?
How did I start these books?
No, when you first started to do your illustrating.
Well,
Is it
I've done
black
a lot
and
of what's called mixed media. I just work in a variety of, I like crayon,
Mm,
you know, it does a lot.
it's kind of cute.
Yeah, and I've done some pictures I framed that were in crayon. I usually use marker in them too, but I like colored pencils and I like ink and I like crayon.
So where
And
did
some
you
little paint,
guys
too.
to meet?
We met at the Marion, Indiana YMCA. Our YMCA is very sociable. A lot of us interact and talk to each other. I tell Bonnie, you know, I talk a lot to people at the Y. It's kind of like a social club as well as a gym. And then I discovered that Karen is an illustrator. So when I started to write children's books, you know, I immediately approached her if she, you know, want to join forces.
Well, you do a great job, Karen.
Thank you.
Great
And
job.
this was my first to do a book,
Oh.
and I just decided to not have fear and go for it and figure it out, and
It's
it
like-
worked out very well.
It's like creating a new song or a new lyric.
Yeah.
That's what I write lyrics, and I got songs out. I don't sing, but I do write, and that's art in
Yeah.
itself. Is it like therapy when you do?
Oh,
This
it can be both therapy and very frustrating at this, you know, when it's not going the way you planned or you can't figure something out.
I don't want to know what that was.
I have to, when I get frustrated, I just have to put it aside for a while
Yeah.
and think about it or not think about it, one or the other, and something will usually pop in. And like one of the problems was how to do tiles
Mm-hmm.
on a floor with perspective, so I have to look some things up. How do I do that?
Yeah.
And
Are you self-taught, or did you go to?
no, I went to school.
So
Yeah.
anything of your own creation instead of just.
I didn't go in graphic arts or illustrating.
Yeah.
It was more
I
fine
took
art.
graphic arts. So, you got another 5 books, hey kid?
Oh, yes. Oh, and then I don't think we included the first 5, Why Can't Dogs Talk, where a little girl tells her father she wishes that her dog could speak the way she does. I mean, meaning English. And then he kind of explains in a Dr. Seuss type rhyme how if her dog really could talk English, how it would upset everything.
All right, now you got 5 new books.
Yes.
Let's talk about those.
Okay, and then there is a sequel to If Your Dog Were a Human, which is, of course, If Your Cat Were a Human, and where it raises the same question, if your cat were a human, what kind of human would your cat be? An extrovert, an introvert, into sports, into entertaining?
Into schools.
Would the cat be a criminal or a enforcer of the law?
Or an alley cat.
Yes.
Oh my stars. Anyways, how long did it take you to write every book? The
Oh,
first 5 and then
the
other 5.
creative parts come in bursts, and that what's most time consuming is rewriting it, and then the formatting, because a good children's book, just like a poem, looks like it all just came out at once, and it's supposed to be that way. But it doesn't in reality.
I know that. So, the first one was a cat.
Yes, if your cat were a human, I have to peek across.
Red Riding
Little Red Riding Wolf.
Wolf.
Yes, it's a fanciful story of the classic Little Red Riding Hood, but it's told in reverse, where the good guy is Little Red Riding Hood as a wolf puppy who is forewarned by her parents to keep away from humans when she's delivering a picnic basket to her ailing grandmother wolf. But then she is sweet-talked by a trapper who wants to turn her into a hat and her grandmother into a coat. And it has twists and turns and well, I don't want to ruin the end.
Don't.
Okay. But it's appropriate for children.
How
but
old age?
Early elementary school, but it's really more for adults because it has kind of a deeper meaning to it.
Has a moral?
Yes, absolutely. But then so do all really good children's stories. You know, they have a moral and they can be enjoyed by an adult. As the great George MacDonald. George MacDonald, yes.
Which one?
He wrote in the 19th century, At the Back of the North Wind, The Floating Princess, The Princess and the Giant are some of his books.
Yeah.
But he said, I don't write for children, I write for the kind of the inner child in all of us. I should say, he said, I don't just write for children.
Yes. So the next one? Now, how many have you done?
Then there should be 5 more. So this one is Tamim, the Passover Lamb. This is for an overtly Christian audience. It's where a little Hebrew girl in the 1st century Israel is given a Passover lamb to raise, and her parents do not have the heart to tell her what the fate of the lamb is. So it is educational. One learns about life in 1st century Israel in Jesus' time. Then with Tamim, then they're on the way to Jerusalem when the parents have to explain to their daughter the fate of her precious pet.
Oh.
And I could give away the ending. Oh, no, okay.
But
it very much has a happy ending, as does the whole gospel story.
So, what is your website for people to be able to buy that book?
Well, you can find them for sale on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. And I don't have my website.
I have it.
Here it is. I'm just going to read it. www, all small caps, Leland, LELANDP Gamson, Gamson
We'll be able to put it underneath.
.com.
.com.
Yeah,
It's always a .com in there.
yes.
No, .org. .com. So, which one are we on now?
Okay, the Irish Setter is mailing a letter that is in couplets and rhyme where 29 dog breeds are kind of illustrated and explained doing different things.
Right.
It's a fun book for children that love dogs, as most children do.
So I have a question. Would you do any cartoon books for the kids to draw, paint, or not draw, but fill in with felt pen?
Yeah, funny you should ask. We are almost completed one children's workbook for Clarkdale, Arizona.
With Karen?
And, we meaning Karen and I.
That's
And it has different activities, coloring, and it's all centered in the Verde Valley in Arizona. It's actually kind of written to order for their historical society.
Oh, wow. So you're really busy.
Yes.
You're all over the map. Okay.
Yeah, then I also write for adults in Hope Is Now, kind of evangelical magazine.
All right. Hang on. So,
He's got one more book,
one more book?
which I'm in. No,
he-
that you just flipped
No,
it.
I,
Oh, I flipped it.
Yeah.
Oh, Why Do Dogs Bark?
Cats.
And that was co-written by our dogs because it answers the question of why do dogs bark?
Well, that's a good question. That's how they communicate.
Yes, because they're different barks for different reasons.
Same with cats.
Karen,
Yeah, this
Karen
one's mine.
illustrated
And
it.
what's neat about these 5 books is I got involved with the formatting of them
Oh,
so that we could upload them and actually turn them into print. So I got very good with computer skills last summer.
I used to be a typesetter many moons ago. Now it's,
Yeah, it's all different.
yeah.
But I like doing that because it gave me some control of how my pages were formatted.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could help other artists where they wanted something corrected. I have a Wacom, which allows me to draw into the work and fix
Yeah.
things. So
Oh, that's
it was a teamwork.
Yes, it was. I believe it.
Yeah, I read my first 5 books on YouTube, and the next 5 books should be out on YouTube very soon.
What would you like to share with my audience about you writing and you doing illustration?
without her, you couldn't do it.
That's right. One has to actually kind of see how creative Karen's illustrations are to get the kind of the full impact of the books.
But you
And then Karen formats, and she has much more computer competency than I do.
well, you're talented. Your gift is writing.
Yes.
Your gift is illustration.
Yeah. And his rhymings are
His
so
poetry.
fanciful and fun.
Yes.
So it makes it easy to, not always easy to come up with how to illustrate it, but it definitely, I pick it out somewhere and come up with something, and it just can make me laugh to look at a page after it's done.
You said that this was the first time you've done for books.
Yes.
How did it feel doing?
It's a lot of hard work.
Mm-hmm.
It takes persistence, and it takes the knowledge to know that if it didn't work out on this page, set it aside, work on another one, and then things will pop out or an idea will come and you can fix the other. But I learned little techniques. I do everything in ink first,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can gesso over lines, but you can only gesso so long, and then it won't take the color.
Right.
And so I've learned to take it to a print shop who can do high quality, and they will print it out, and the lines are there nice and clean. And
How
then
many colors are you using in these illustrations?
Oh, I started out with pastels and just kind of rubbing them on, but I couldn't find the quality I wanted. After a while, I discovered what I call pastel pans or pods. I'm not sure. They're just little, you know, and it has this nice waxy pastel that you brush on, and there's not a lot of powder in it, and I can mix the colors, so I use a lot of colors.
That's good. So, anything you'd like to say to my audience before we say bye-bye?
Then Karen has made delightful greeting cards with...
Oh, really? Do you have it there?
Didn't bring any.
And do we have time for me to read
Yes,
Why
we
Do
have
Dogs
5
Bark?
minutes.
Why Do Dogs Bark? By Leland Gamson and Karen Camden Welsh as the illustrator. Sometimes they bark because they want you to stay. Other times they bark when they see a stray. Sometimes they bark to go out and play. Other times they bark so you'll go away. Sometimes they bark because they want to be fed. There's a cute illustration of the dog banging on his his feed tray. Other times they bark to get you out of bed. Sometimes they bark to sound an alarm, so others will run and avoid harm. And Karen has a nifty illustration of a dog leading a hiking
Yeah,
group.
there's a lot going on in that one. There's a
Yeah.
chicken
Going
and
on.
a skunk. And
Oh, my stars.
Sometimes they bark when they don't know who's there. They're telling a stranger it's best to beware. Sometimes they bark when they see a friend who also has a tail wagging at his end. Sometimes they bark because they want a treat.
Yeah, that one has the tiles
Oh, that must
that I
have
was
been
talking about that
a
makes
lot
it
of work.
difficult. And if you'll show it, the rainbow, it's kind of like finding the treasure at the end of the rainbow.
I see.
It's dog treats.
Hello. You betcha.
Other times they bark because there's a thorn in their feet. Sometimes they bark to be let outside so they can chase squirrels who will run and hide.
Squirrel.
Sometimes outside is where they need to be, so they'll find a spot to poop or to pee.
Can you show that?
Say
Yeah.
what?
That was a hard one to figure out. How am I going to illustrate that? But I came up with caution dog spot, and of course, dog poo, and he doesn't want to smell it. So
Oh, sweetie.
Sometimes they bark to go on a walk. Dogs need to bark because that's how they talk.
Cool. Let's show that one.
and it's, you know, they're thinking, what's that one say? Oh, treat please, love you, and take me for a walk.
Mm.
This one was selected to be the first to be put on display in a walking kind of park in Camp Verde, Arizona.
Either you gave me the peace sign or we have 2 minutes. So what would you like to say to my audience about encouragement to do art? You do art in writing, you do art in illustrating. What would you like to share?
Well, just enjoy the art you do. Don't be so judgmental. You know, it doesn't have to be for illustrations, but if you like art and you want to do it, just do it and not be so hard on yourself. It's a process. It's a growth.
It's practice, practice.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's like therapy. It's not like work. It's like something you do enjoying it. You know, Is it work to you or?
It depends. It can be at times, but no, mostly I really enjoy doing it.
And you?
If you have something inside you, an idea or some creativity, by all means just go for it and do it. And because you'll regret it if you don't. Because I retired, I thought at the prime of my working career, because I really wanted to get serious about doing children's books. I didn't want to be in my 90s with completely unable to connect to the modern technology and thinking, woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yeah.
When you have athletic talent, your window closes much earlier than with artistic talent. The window goes on in almost
20s and 40s.
Yes, I mean I'm 68, so it goes on and on, but still that's no excuse to keep procrastinating.
And motivation follows action. If you're waiting to be motivated, it may not happen. So you just get in there and do it.
And that, my friends, is the end of the show. Thank you, Leland.
Well, thank you, Patty.
And thank you, Karen, my dear, for coming on to my show. We'll see you next week, and thank you so much for watching today. So God bless.
Godspeed, my love, until we meet again. You're always in my heart and every dream. Don't let this time apart give in to all our fears. God will keep us close from up above. So until we meet again, Godspeed, my love. God is with us always for the rest of our lives.